Hello friends, quick like before the introduction sort of clip, I forgot to mention this, but this video is going to be not spoiler free because I realized I have filmed a bunch of the clips and it's not like, I don't think it counts as a spoiler, but it's probably going to count as a spoiler for some people who have not read the whole series. And yeah, moving forward, just know that I might spoil some key points in the story, in the series, but if you're okay with it, you've probably seen the title of what this is about and you click on it, then thank you, enjoy. I hope you enjoy the series, and let's get on with the video. All I can say right now is that I finally had the time to film this introduction. It has been, you could say, a long time coming since I had this idea to do this video. So guys, welcome to another video. This is what I teased in like a few videos back of mine. That is the secret project that I am filming for supposedly my like birthday series coming October 2024. So it's October, I believe, once you are seeing this video, but as of the moment it is the 17th of September. I was planning actually to film this video 1st of September to film this introduction so that I can get this video going. However, things happen, a lot of things happen, so here we are today, better late than never. And as you could tell from the intro, you could, or maybe even the thumbnail or the title of the video, you could tell that this is going to be a reading vlog. I am like probably a big fan of the Percy Jackson series and all of the Rick Riordan books. I have made like a few reading vlogs of this, the universe of Rick Riordan already, and I want to, like, for my birthday, go back to my roots and go back to the very first series that I fell in love with, which is Percy Jackson and the Olympians. I do have my box set here. I'm going to tilt it a little bit and hold it like that because if I do that, it's not that bad. I thought that there's going to be a glare. The light's bad. It's not that bad. As you can see, the color scheme is very much similar. I have this box set since I believe 2014 or 2015 when this like whole box set came out. My parents actually got this for me for my birthday in 2014, and as you can see from how it looks in the spine, it has not been touched. Like, I have not read any one of these books like in this edition or like in this box set. I used to read the Percy Jackson books, borrowing it from a friend of mine, and it started my love for reading and for mythology and such. And this is the series that started like me becoming a more avid reader, and I just wanted to go back, read it again, and maybe in the end of September, I believe it's the 29th of September, wherein the 7th book of this series is coming out. So there is a 6th and a 7th book to the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series, and I have not bought the 6th book yet. I wanted to buy it together, so hopefully like maybe coming October, first week of October, I'm going to get it or something, or maybe just get the, what do you call this, the digital copy and the ebook version of it and read it on my phone. But for now, I want to, this is very sentimental to me. Like, this box set is very sentimental to me, so I am probably going to annotate this and tab it. It's very difficult actually to get the books out of here. Here we are with the 5 books. Lightning Thief for the first one, Sea of Monsters. I did not realize that the Sea of Monsters is like super smaller compared to the others. And also Titan's Curse. 4th one, the Battle of the Labyrinth, and the last one is The Last Olympian. So this is like the first 5 books of the series. And when I saw that there was a book 6 and 7 coming out on the PJO series, I was like, I want to read it all over again, and this is like the perfect opportunity to read these books. I don't know where the poster is. Like, you can see that it is almost actually brand new, except for like a few creases, of course, because it's pretty old. Oh, here's the poster, which is like the whole series cover art series. It came with the box set, and I just really want to film this introduction before I start reading so that you could still see that there's no tabs and all for the introduction, and then at the end we shall reveal that there is like a lot of tabs. So what I plan on doing is I will take one book, and then once I finish it, I will flip it over to reveal the tabs and all that I've finished, and that's how we're going to keep it moving forward. So I don't know how long this is going to take me, because I do know that the Percy Jackson series is like a pretty quick read, and I've already read this like I believe 2 times if I'm not mistaken. So this is going to be my 3rd reread of the series, and I just want to have my own copy all tabbed up, annotated if I will do so. I do have highlighters that are like light blue, and I do have highlighters that are in light blue, and I'm going to pick and choose like tabs for it. I do have like a bunch of tabs here that I got, and I'm picking out all of the light blue ones, like ocean blue, probably a little bit of green as well. Like maybe this one will be good. Like you can't even see it, I'm sorry. Like maybe this one will be good. And then like some of the darker blues, maybe a little bit of gold here and there, and just play around with it, have fun. And this is like, I'm super excited to do this again, because I know that I really love the Percy Jackson series, and I'm just super excited to read it all again. So that is going to be our reading vlog for this time. I'm not sure how long it will take me to finish this whole series, but I am looking forward to it, and I hope you enjoy this video. So I'm going to update you once I have finished with the first book, and we'll go from there. Hello, so I decided to give a little update since I am like finished with the first 2 books. I did have a clip of me putting a sort of like the tabs, the like legend of the tabs in the front here, and I did change up the first book. I took out the other one and decided to use this like notepad situation of like a review. I placed the date of when I started and when I finished this read, and then all of the meanings of the tabs here to the side, and gave my rating here at the top. So it has been an enjoyable few days for this. I am really reminded why I love the series so much, and look how colorful the tabs are now. The first one, not so much. I do have like, it's like a more muted actually, because I do have here the thicker, there is like a bigger blue and a thinner blue. So the bigger one, the thicker one is Percy. There are a few grays here for Annabeth, but I did really put in a lot of like Percabeth moments. I really forgot that like at the very beginning of the series, Percabeth was already like there. Like they do have that chemistry and dynamic already, even though they're still kids. And I really enjoyed it. Key moments for the thinner blue, and then there are, of course, this is a Greek mythology book, so I wanted to put in tabs for every Greek mythology story, reference, whatever, like a mention of a name in Greek mythology or like a certain story, and introduction of the new gods, or like every introduction of a certain god that is new to the series, I guess. So this is Lightning Thief, the first one. I finished the second one, The Sea of Monsters. This is a lot shorter compared to the first one, so it only took me a day to finish this. Since it was Sunday yesterday, it's Monday as I'm filming this, the 23rd of September, and here is our tabs. I have the key moments and favorite quotes, I guess, mythology references for the purple, Percy and Tyson moments, And of course, Percabeth is the same color, like that muted pink color. And then I added some for Grover because there are a lot of Grover moments here. It mainly focuses more on like relationships between the campers, especially Clarice and Percy, who are supposed to be at odds with each other, but it was a fun journey, I guess. And the colors this time are very much brighter. I was trying to fit with the color scheme of the book cover. However, majority of this is like green, and I don't have that much greenish blue tabs anyway, so I just used whatever I had. And this is what I got. I actually ran out of the blue tabs that I was using for Percy and Tyson. So in the next book, which I am currently reading, The Titan's Curse, I did put Percy in this like grayish blue. I haven't finished this yet, but since yesterday was Sunday, as I've mentioned, I did read a huge chunk of this book, and I am like maybe a couple of pages, like maybe 50 pages left or 40 pages left in this book, but I need to go to work. So I will leave it at this for the moment, finish this, and pick up the fourth book, The Battle of the Labyrinth, when I finish this one. So we have Percy, we have Thalia, the introduction of Nico D'Angelo, who is also one of my favorite characters in this whole series. The key moments and mythology references, and I noticed that yellow and green kind of mix, but it's fine. And I also have, like, of course, Percabeth moment with this peachy sort of pink, salmon pink situation. But I did run out of like the yellow and also the green, so I decided to just go with the mythology references, orange and then purple. And then for the key moments, the yellow one, I decided to just use the leftover salmon pinks, or like the muted pink from the Percabeth set, because I have only a few of those left. I really need to like look for tabs in the future, like in the next book, that I still have a lot of, because I know that I will be tabbing the heck out of the remaining series. But so far, it's looking very pretty. I'm really happy. I just penciled in some of the moments that, like, annotating moments. I just penciled it in because I was too afraid to use a pen because it might bleed through the next page. So I decided to just use a pencil to underline certain quotes that I like, write down stuff. And so far, so good. I am putting an arbitrary deadline for myself for this week, since it is Monday, the start of a new week. I decided if I can do it, I would just binge the last 3 books that are out, the 4th and the 5th book for this series, and then I do have the ebook copy of the 6th book, The Chalice of the Gods. I am hoping that by Saturday I will be finishing the last 3 books in the series in time for September 29th, which is the release date of The Wrath of the Triple Goddess, which is the 7th book. And hopefully by then I will be able to edit this and put it out into the world by the first week of October. That's the goal. Hopefully it will come through, and if not, then we'll just see. But in any case, this is the update so far with Percy Jackson series. I am loving it. I am having the time of my life, if I'm perfectly honest. And I even like slept late for some reason last night, even though I had to go to work this morning. But this is making me very happy and remind me of like my childhood and how much I enjoyed reading this as a high schooler. And so yeah, middle grade, super easy to read through, and I will update more once I have anything else to talk about. Now, while I wait for my videos to upload and render like the other videos that I have for the month of October, I just want to quickly come in here and chat about a little update on what has been going on in this Percy Jackson vlog. I'm sorry I haven't been updating for like the past couple of days. It has been super busy, and I haven't picked up the last book, actually, The Last Olympian, for like a couple of days, maybe 2 days, and it is the 29th already today. I also made a mistake when it comes to like me looking at the release date of the last book in the series, which is The Wrath of the Triple Goddess, which was supposed to be the 24th. I thought it was the 29th, so I actually saw it wrong. And yeah, it has been out for like quite a bit. I already have digital copies of the 6th and 7th book, and I am almost done with this last one. I am going to binge read this later and then start book 6, and it has been fun so far. This is the last one, which is the fight with Kronos, and you could say that I have forgotten a bunch ever since probably the Titan's Curse. I do not recall some of the events that happened, which is really good that I got to reread it. In my brain, actually, the reveal of Nico D'Angelo and Bianca D'Angelo was quite cooler, I guess, when I was a teenager, but now it's sort of okay. I guess that is how I see it once I reread it again, something that is middle grade and now as an adult. But so far, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying Percy Jackson series so much. I don't know if I made a mistake. Like, for those who have already read this book, I don't know if I made a mistake and I placed Solangelo too early here. But I do have like the introduction of Will Solis in there, and he's one of my favorite characters, of course. I'm thinking actually after reading this, or like after me reading this whole series, I'm probably going to pick up The Sun and the Star, which is the Solangelo adventure book, like a standalone, and it just brings back so many memories. I'm so happy that I was able to I got myself to pick the series up again and then continue on reading with book 6 or 7, because I think if it was not for the release of the 6th and 7th book, I don't think I would be rereading the series this year. But since it happened, I got a lot of tabs, a lot of Perkabeth happening here as well, and I'm excited to finish this. Excited to finish this vlog as well. I was hoping to get this out like the first week of October. I don't think it's gonna happen. We'll see though how fast I'm going to read the last 2 books, the new books in the series. I wish I put this up on the 1st of October, but I guess we can't do that now. So yeah, we'll see how fast I will be able to binge read 3 books, 2.5 books, and then I will update you guys my thoughts and feelings of the whole series after rereading it, and of course my reactions to the 2 new books. Hello, so we are a little bit bright and early today because I don't know what time the music is going to start. It is October 1st today, and to be fair, I did not really complete this whole reading all of the Percy Jackson and Olympus books in the month of September, but I told myself I'm just going to cheese it a little bit, and if ever I have read 50% or more of the Wrath of the Triple Goddess, I will just count it to September just to fit in with the reading vlog as well as my reading journal situation here. But I did end up finishing rather reading 50% of the Wrath of the Triple Goddess, and I have some thoughts. So as of the moment, I'm just going to flip through the journal pages as of the moment when it comes to the other books. So we have the 1st and the 2nd, 3rd and 4th, the 5th one, and Chalice of the Gods, which is 6th and the new one that I haven't read yet from the series. It's the new one other than the Wrath of the Triple Goddess, and this one actually surprised me. Reactions, a little bit of the reactions to the 6th and the 7th book. This is going to be a little bit spoilery. Actually, if you're reading my journal entries, it is going to be spoilery, but the fact that the addition to the Percy Jackson series is the gap, the timeline gap between Heroes of Olympus and also I believe what do you call this, a little bit of the in-between of Magnus Chase and the Trials of Apollo, because there are mentions in Trials of Apollo that have not happened yet in the Chalice of the Gods, and I'm not going to spoil which part of that is, but it's super wholesome. And I also enjoyed that this timeline or this series of events is Percy trying to get a college recommendation letter application, and it all features minor gods and goddesses and some of the not commonly talked about people in Greek mythology, and it also has themes. In the beginning, it's more of fitting in, having this prophecy of this young hero who has been misunderstood his whole life. He doesn't understand why things are happening to him, and why the gods are like that with their children. And most of the time, the whole theme of the first 5 books is family.
acceptance of your friends and family, like whether or not they feel like the demigods feel abandoned by their godly parent or like their friend, betrayal and such. So it's more of like family and friends situation here for the first 5 books. The next, I believe there's going to be a third book for this because it is 3 college letter application recommendation letters, I mean, and every book is like 1 recommendation letter. So I don't know it's going to be like another 5-book series or it's like a trilogy continuation, because I noticed that whenever Rick Riordan writes his books, it's always like a 5-book series part. Like this one is 5 books. Heroes of Olympus is 5 books. The Apollo Trials is also 5 books, but he also writes trilogies like Magnus Chase and Kane Chronicle series. So I'm hoping that this is a 3-book series continuation of the Percy Jackson. And if not, then I'll just read more. I really do enjoy it. And as for like Trials of the Gods, which is like Ganymede's story, the cupbearer of the gods, it's kind of fun actually. It's themed around aging and being youthful, and whether or not immortality is worth it. And the next one, which is Wrath of the Triple Goddess, the theme is more like pets and stuff. So if you really enjoy pets, you also would probably enjoy Wrath of the Triple Goddess. I'm like a little bit over 50% of that, and I could already tell that my best friend Angel, who hasn't read the series yet, she only read Kane Chronicles, and Percy Jackson, the whole series is like too long already, and she missed out on that when we were younger. So I would think that she would enjoy Wrath of the Triple Goddess because there are a lot of dog-related conversation situations of that, and also like maternal instincts, and what else, like it's still family related, but it's like moving on to another chapter of life situation, which is fair, and it's cute, it's wholesome. It's just that it's kind of weird for like situations wherein I think Annabeth wouldn't think to do in that particular situation. Like the tone of it changed. Like of course the first 5 books has been written like over 20 years ago, and or like a little bit of like, I don't know, it's somewhat 20 years ago, and the tone changed, the references changed, like a little bit of like the culture in media also changed. So Rick Riordan references a lot of like memes, popular pop culture references in his books, and so you could see like the shift in that. And sometimes I'm thinking that I should have also read Heroes of Olympus series before I read this set of new books, because I kind of forgot some of the details referenced in this books because it is after Heroes of Olympus. So my suggestion is that Percy Jackson first, Heroes of Olympus, and then this one, and then if you want a different set of heroes, then Magnus Chase. But if you want like a continuation of the Greek gods, then Apollo Trials, something like that. And yeah, I'm just going to finish today the last book, The Wrath of the Triple Goddess, and then I'm going to have my final updates and end this vlog. This is super exciting. I'm actually super excited on how things end up and what are my thoughts and feelings, like final thoughts of the whole situation.
And so here we are at the very end of the vlog. Today is October 2nd, which isn't my ideal time for this. At least I have finished it. I finished the last book, The Wrath of the Triple Goddess, yesterday, October 1st, and there really is a third book because it's just 2 application letters, or recommendation letters rather, and I am pretty pleased with it. It's not my, like, let's go through this like one at a time. I will start with the very first book and then down to the 7th book of all of the Percy Jackson series that are available as of the moment. The tabs actually really chunked up my books, if I'm perfectly honest, but it is put to good use. I do have a little bit of like spine creases on the first and the last book, maybe because I paused for a little bit for them, but somehow they are fine. The 2nd to the 4th book doesn't have any creases because I like binge read it like for a whole day. So let's go through this one by one. So first off here we have The Lightning Thief Classic, the very first book, the book that got me into reading in the first place and the first in the series. If you have seen like the movies, there are 2 movies that are in this Percy Jackson series, which is the first one and the second one. And I don't know if the series has already come out, but I think it has already come out because they're casting like the 3rd book, the people that are in the 3rd book. But since we are at the end of the vlog, this is going to be quite a spoilery review for me, because I can't really talk about what happened in the other books if I do not talk about like a little bit of a spoiler for each of the book that is before it. And I will do my best to like keep the key moments secret, but if you haven't read this book, then I do advise not to like continue watching this. But in any case, I'm going to start with it. The Lightning Thief, the first one of the series. I gave all of my Percy Jackson books 5 out of 5 except for the last book, which I will get into. And mostly this is the first quest of Percy Jackson, how he was introduced to Camp Half-Blood with all of the other demigods in his generation, and also he has been claimed by his godly parent. And this is like his first adventure, which is that he was accused of stealing Zeus's lightning bolt, and this is how the story started out with Percy and all of the Olympian gods. There are a lot of moments in here that are like super iconic. It's always the first book that's pretty good, and I do highly recommend this to middle grade readers and also younger people who are like in it for a little adventure, but also like learning or like wanting to read a book about fitting into like a certain place and having your own special abilities and your place in life, basically. Percy Jackson series is more of like finding about or like learning about yourself and your skills and your talents, finding what you're good at, fitting into like your own place in society, and also finding family. It's basically found family, but also like your own family dynamics and relationships. And some of it is like complicated, of course, because of the Olympian gods and their relationships, but it's also like learning, it's a fun way of learning Greek mythology. And Rick Riordan is pretty good at that, and adjusting his like stories of the Greek mythology to the books and how these quests correlate, and you learn a little bit of the Greek mythology as well while you're reading this book. So that is the first book. The second book, The Sea of Monsters. The second book, The Sea of Monsters, is another quest. This is more of like an Odysseus style quest with like the going through the Sea of Monsters and then going to this island where the Cyclops who herds sheep in search of a specific item to help their camp, which is like in the verge of being destroyed situation. So this is also a fun but very short book. This is like the shortest of all of the Percy Jackson books. The third one, The Titan's Curse. I forgot about this whole story about who the Titan in particular was being referred to, but here is the introduction. Oh, I did not show. Here we are. It took me a day to read through this. A lot of like Percabeth situation, a lot of Percy with Tyson interaction, and mostly also like Grover. Like there are a lot of Grover instances in here because it's like he's part of the reason why they took on this quest. The next one here, Titan's Curse, as I've said, also took me a day. Here we have the introduction to other demigods that are like more part of the series moving forward, namely Thalia and Nico D'Angelo. Nico being my favorite character. I do have a lot of like black tabs for him, and I realized that in my memory, Nico wasn't this like type of kid. I forgot that he was this way. He was like super perky and also like kind of nerdy when it comes to mythomagic and all of his like figures and card games until that time when a specific event in this book happened that made him change. And I understand the drastic change on why it happened, but I just did not recall that it was that intense that happened to him. The next one, the fourth one, being the Battle of the Labyrinth. Battle of the Labyrinth is not necessarily my favorite. I forgot to write this down. I think I finished this, I've started, yeah, it's like, it took me 2 days because this is the beginning of like longer sort of books for Percy Jackson. 25, 24. But I still gave this a 4-star. So this is the introduction of Rachel Dare, who is another key person in this whole series and the series moving forward. There are a lot of stuff here with Annabeth and discovering herself, basically proving herself. So each quest has a specific demigod that is the lead for the quest, like the leader of the quest. So the first one being Percy, the second one being Clarice, the third one is Zoe Nightshade, who is one of the Hunters of Artemis. The Hunters of Artemis also plays a very big role in this. I sadly did not put any tabs for them, but they do play a big role, especially Zoe in this one. And then Battle of the Labyrinth is Annabeth's quest. So there are a lot of stuff here about Annabeth. Like it is when Percabeth starts to really get a little bit more serious, and like Percy is still kind of, what do I call this, like dense when it comes to girls, but I think this is the book that solidified Percabeth so much. I'm talking so much about Percabeth because it is the ship that I really love, and it is like all throughout the series they are there. even reflected in like the other books where they cameo. So I'm just enjoying that so much. And then the last one, oh, I did not even explain what this is about. As you can see, like Battle of the Labyrinth, the Maze, Daedalus' labyrinth with the Minotaur and King Minos. And yeah, they have to navigate through that labyrinth situation. And then the last one being the last Olympian. I will not spoil who the last Olympian is, but it always comes down to like the story wherein you have to always, by the end of the day, it's always family. It's always the choice between moving forward or coming home situation and trusting your family members. Which, to be fair, if you have Greek gods as your family, I don't think you trust them 100%, especially when they flip-flop between sides. But still, it was a fun adventure. I have here, I actually, since this is a spoilery event already, I actually put in Solangelo here too early because I did not realize Solangelo is in the Heroes of Olympus, I believe, books. I think, like at the end of the Heroes of Olympus series. So let's ignore the Solangelo and just focus on Will. There's only one actually event here when Will was introduced. And there are a lot of sadness. Like these two books there are a lot of sadness happening in these two because of course it's the end of the book series during its time, and it's like the whole battle, a lot of betrayal, it's like redeeming oneself once after you realize you made a mistake, and there's a lot of sadness in these two books. So that is the first 5 books of the Percy Jackson series, which I've reread and I'm very happy with. As you can see from my tabs, it goes darker. It goes like from simpler, happier times going down to like super muted and super sad, which is like something that I noticed while I was doing it, but it works. So we proceed to the 6th book. The 6th book being the Chalice of the Gods. I don't have a physical copy of that, but I do have a digital ebook copy. And I was thinking probably once the 3rd book comes out, if it becomes a trilogy, I will wait for the box set like this one, because the books that are currently being sold on bookstores with the 1st book, The Chalice of the Gods, is like too tall for this. Like if it's this tall for my book, The Chalice of the Gods is here, so it's like not pretty if you put it on the bookshelf. So this whole Chalice of the Gods and also Wrath of the Triple Goddess, the continuation for the Percy Jackson series, is about Percy trying to get into college. And what happens, like the events that happened in Heroes of Olympus, this is what happens after, and the reason why he is like needing these recommendation letters is because of what happened during Heroes of Olympus, which I will not spoil. But because of this, Rick Riordan focuses more on minor gods and goddesses and also some of the so well-known deities of Greek mythology. And I really enjoyed it because there are a lot of stories in here that are like, these are super wholesome actually. There are super wholesome quests. I really love Chalice of the Gods because as I've mentioned in a previous clip, this is more of like embracing old age, embracing getting older, having to like move on to different things, and that is basically the whole theme of this book. And I really enjoyed it. I binge read it and read it for like a whole day. However, the Wrath of the Triple Goddess, I gave it a 4-star. I actually made a mistake. I was supposed to give it a 4.5, but thinking more about it, I'm giving it a 4-star. Basically because this is quite a longer book, and also this is actually perfect for Halloween. This is, if I was not doing this in September, I would probably do this on October and maybe put out this book in November. But this is a perfect book for October because the questor for this one, I don't know if, I believe, I'm not sure if Hecate is a minor god, but she's the goddess of like witchcraft, magic, and crossroads. And there are a lot of choices here that refer to like the crossroads that Percy, Annabeth, and Grover has to take, and whether or not that road leads to failure or doing the best that they can with the choices that they made, basically. And there are a lot of stuff here that I did not think Annabeth would do. Grover, after being like, after going through a bunch and growing up, I don't know why he became a little bit more whiny in this book. And also, I do appreciate Percy being more mature in this. Like, he grew up so much in this book, I've noticed. And somehow Grover is the one that is the main reason why there happened to be a problem in this book, supposed to be, but they don't really blame him for that because Hecate set them up for failure in this book, but they redeemed themselves in the end. It was super wholesome. There are a lot of dogs and cat related
situations in this book, but also the stories of old ancient queens and witches from ancient Greek that I don't even know about, and I really enjoyed it. However, it's just that it was super draggy. The part wherein they have like this plants versus zombies situation on like the last stand in front of the mansion. It threw me off a little bit, but I do understand that it was supposed to be for the spooky Halloween factor, because this book happened the weekend or like the week of Halloween, which is like the perfect cozy Halloween book, if I'm perfectly honest, which I appreciate. It's just that I don't really loved it that much, and also the writing style of Rereading with this last book kind of changed. At first, the first 5 books, or like the 5 books, and then the succeeding books, Heroes of Olympus and also Magnus Chase, since they are like more prophecy driven, it's more heroic. It's more, even though it's like sassy, Magnus Chase is sassy, Percy is quite brutal and also in a way sarcastic. And when it's prophecy driven, it's more heroic, it's more like doing big things. And in this book, it's more tedious tasks like side questing, and to me it's like a very long, very tedious side quest. And I don't know, I still enjoyed it, I still recommend it, and I'm still going to read the next book if it comes out, who knows, maybe next year or the year after. And yeah, I'm wanting to see what happens next, because probably in the next book I am thinking that it is the book when Magnus Chase enters into the story. Like, it is that part of the timeline wherein Magnus mentioned Percy in his books. I do have a Magnus Chase vlog down in the description if you're interested, or up in the iCards if you're interested in that, if I remember to link it, but I do have a Magnus Chase vlog. But yeah, I think that is the part of that. And then after that 3rd book probably is when the Apollo trials comes in, or like more or less there. So in any case, this is the end of the Percy Jackson reread vlog. I'm super happy that I was able to finish this, because this has been a long time coming. I have been wanting to do this for a long time. I had these books since 2014, so it's 2024 now, and I happened to get this on my birthday, and my birthday is in like 11 days as of filming this. So yeah, it's almost 10 years since I received these books and have not read them, and I hope you enjoy this vlog, as I have enjoyed reading them and feeling the nostalgia of all of the books that I have loved when I was in high school. And that is it for me for this video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and I hope you enjoy. I do recommend these books if you have been on the fence of whether or not to start a very long series, because you have to like read this and then read Heroes and then read the 6th and 7th book, so that you can understand and see all of the people that are involved in the 6th and 7th book. But if you are feeling not as much inspired to read 13 or 12, rather 12 books as of the moment, just read the first series. They're fun, they're wonderful, they give tears as well. So yeah, I do recommend it, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for hanging out with me again, and I will see you in my next video. So until then guys, take care and